Sandeera Centuari, and welcome back to the second episode in our exclusive peek into the richest and most misunderstood region of our solar system, Coalition Space. Today, I'll be talking to a representative for the consortium of organisations that hold power in this region and rule over what is essentially a corporatocracy. Mark Dunford, Public Relations Officer. Thank you for your time.
My pleasure, Sandy. It's great to be here. You don't mind if I call you Sandy?
Well, actually...
Of course you don't. We're all friends here.
First, let's get straight to your employers, the Coalition. Who are these people who rule over Coalition Space like dictators?
Oh, dictators? That's a bit harsh, Sandy, don't you think? The Coalition are simply a humble group of successful entrepreneurs who shared a vision for Jupiter. Through years of dedication and hard work...
And vast fortunes?
Of course. Fortunes they earned while building respected industries on Earth and investing in employment of tens of millions of people. The Coalition pushed the boundaries of what was possible in solar system exploration and extraterrestrial mining. What began as a small mining colony on Jupiter's largest moon, Callisto, has now become a sovereign nation-state that provides for the needs of over 2 billion citizens.
Citizens that are forced to live under a harsh system of coalition debt.
Forced is another unwarranted term, Sandy, and it's called coalition credit, not debt.
A system of debt obligations where more than 90% of the population will never reach a position of credit is more accurately described as coalition debt, is it not?
Not at all. Coalition Space would not be able to support so many citizens without this economic system. It is hard for the nations of Earth to fully comprehend the cost associated with keeping a human alive and productive, let alone gainfully employed and entertained. You take for granted the fact that Earth's unique distance from the Sun provides you with so much for virtually no cost. If the Coalition had tried to create a similar situation here, the system would have collapsed decades ago.
But the Coalition's economic system essentially guarantees that its citizens will never reach a state of financial freedom.
Financial freedom is not about having a positive bank balance, Sandeera. It's about being free to make economic choices that improve your quality of life. The Coalition system of credit ensures that no citizen is ever denied the opportunity to work. This system allows them to provide for themselves and their families.
And if the alternative to taking a dangerous and demanding job to pay for the welfare of your family is starvation and destitution, isn't that more of an ultimatum than a choice?
I could make the same argument for eating. If you don't do it, you'll starve. But the reality of being human is that you need to eat. This choice isn't some kind of ultimatum, it's just a fact of life.
Are you really comparing the Coalition's economic system to the need to eat? Let's move on. The Coalition is currently fighting a war against a group you refer to as the Lyquist terrorists. This group believes that energy sums, the Coalition's primary needs of power production, are killing thousands of alien beings indigenous to Jupiter's atmosphere. Do you believe Heave Angels exist?
I knew you'd get around to this eventually. Heave Angels are fiction, Sandy. The reason this group of criminals are known as Lyquist terrorists is because they are addicted to a powerful hallucinogenic drug called Lyquis. When they take this highly dangerous drug, these degenerates see things that aren't there and believe them to be real.
Have you ever investigated the possibility that Heave Angels could be real?
Of course. If such a fantastic claim were to be true, it would be one of the most important scientific discoveries in human history. Before the Lyquis users turned violent, the Coalition spent considerable resources investigating the matter. Scientists and experts of the highest calibre across all relevant fields were employed in an intensive investigation that lasted more than 12 months. Every one of them came to the same conclusion. Heave Angels only exist in the minds of the Lyquis user.
You say the Lyquis users turned violent, but wasn't it the Coalition who killed 35 protesters at a peaceful demonstration on Callisto in March 2178?
The incident you are referring to was a tragedy, Miss Centauri, but it could have easily been avoided if the demonstration had actually been peaceful. Unfortunately, the security forces who were monitoring the event detected an explosive device that could have killed thousands of innocent bystanders if it had have gone off as planned.
And so every protester was killed in a preemptive attack?
No, only the protesters in the possession of the weapon were targeted. But when the other protesters realised their collective plan would fail, they began rioting, and several more of them tried to detonate the device. With civilians at risk, the security commander made a difficult decision.
You seem to be having an issue with our connection.
This is the Head Angel Revolution. Do not believe the Coalition's lies. Head Angels are real. They are sentient. You have invaded their home planet, and the Coalition's energy suns are killing them in the thousands every day. The slaughter must be stopped.
This is Sandeera Centuari with SNS. Can you tell me why you have chosen to fight against the Coalition in this way?
The Coalition is simply corporations corrupted by profit, who care nothing for the billions of people they exploit. The only thing they are threatened by is the loss of the very profit that has corrupted them. The Head Angel Revolution will continue to target their most lucrative industries and attack their energy suns until the existence of Head Angels is acknowledged and the slaughter is stopped.
As you can see, Miss Centuari, the Lyquist terrorists are becoming increasingly sophisticated in their attacks.
So you believe this group of revolutionaries poses a significant threat to the control of Coalition space?
This group of terrorists is merely a small radicalised cell of Lyquist junkies. The Coalition is committed to keeping its citizens safe and will continue its successful efforts to bring these criminals to justice.
And yet the revolutionaries' leader, Garen Mertekai, still remains at large.
Garen Mertekai is a monster with no conscience. His criminal actions have caused the deaths of countless hard-working men, women and children. The Coalition will catch Garen and bring him to justice. Then his followers will face the consequences of their violent and evil actions.
One more question, Mark.
Yes, Sandeera.
I'd like to visit one of your famous energy sumps and speak to some of the people who work on them. Can you make that happen?
Of course, Miss Centuari. We can arrange that. The Coalition are more than happy to let the rest of the solar system see just how important their achievements at Jupiter are.
Excellent. Our viewers will be incredibly grateful for the opportunity to see inside one of the most influential technologies in the solar system. Thank you for your time, Mark.
My pleasure. We'll look forward to seeing you in the beautiful light of Jupiter's atmosphere soon.
Well, there you have it. Next time on this special series for System News Service, we will speak in person with some of those who work on the Coalition Energy Sump. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. I'm Sandeera Centuari for SNS. Good night.